Hello all, it's me. Anyways, so when you play a mobile game and you think, oh, it'll be fun, but then it turns out it's actually a pile of junk, or it's filled with ads, or it doesn't work without Wi-Fi or some rubbish like that. Well, hopefully this video will put an end to those issues. Like, I have a list of some games that I played and some were recommended, or a couple. Not many people. Apparently, the people I know, not many play mobile games. So trying to do research for this video wasn't very yeah, it was a bit difficult. But I have uh, I have found, yeah, I've got enough to make a video. So if you want to play a decent mobile game that doesn't have too many ads or works offline, then hopefully this can help. I've set it into categories of vehicle, FPS. Well, FPS is first person shooters, and other, because well, there's one game that got recommended from one of my friends, which I didn't know what it was classed as, so I just put it in other. But first, we'll start with puzzle games and work our way down the list. Okay, so I'm going to show clips of the gameplay now, and then I'll talk about what my thoughts are on the game during the clip for that specific puzzle game. So, right, here goes. Right, first game is called Art Blitz. It's a puzzle game where you get given like a picture, like a painting, but it's muddled up, and you put it into order. Like you gotta order all the messed up, like mismatched pieces until it actually makes like the painting, which is pretty frustrating at times. But once you can get the first start of the image, then the rest sort of falls into place pretty easily, as you can see on the screen. I like it. I like this game, but my only really issue is there are like adverts at the bottom of the screen. And when you first open the app, sometimes there's an advert. But if you turn off your Wi-Fi or put it onto airplane mode, the game still works, which is rare for nowadays because it's really hard finding a game that works offline now for mobile, or isn't trying to bombard you with adverts every 3 seconds. So yeah, this game tries to do that, but it works offline. So just turn the Wi-Fi off, and then the adverts will stop appearing, which is a nice thing, and it helps pass the time if you got a long car journey or if you got some sort of education, like that. So I'm gonna give this game a 3 out of 10 stars for now. And yeah, I reckon it's worth a try if you're bored and you've got a long journey and you like puzzles. Then I think this is definitely worth a try, and it's free. All the games on this list are free, so this, yeah, I would try Blitz Art. So yeah. Right, next game. Oh, before the next game, I'll let the clip run to the end, as it's almost, you might as well just see the end result of the, aren't you, really? So yeah. The next game coming up is called Gold Train FRVR. I spelled the words out because I don't know what FRVR spells, but anyway. So this is Gold Train, and then that word I don't know what spells, but this is like a little puzzle game where you got to get the train from the start station to the other station. Now, I like this game, and I've spent many, 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 many hours playing this during my breaks at my education place, where it really does pass the time, but I do have a few things that are annoying. We'll go over those first, and then we'll go over positive. But like the first thing is, so you can't like there isn't a fast way to cycle through other like track pieces. So you have to keep clicking that little green thing to get the track you want, and that can be pretty annoying because you have to keep doing it over and over and over, as you can see, until you can find the pieces you want. That's one thing that annoys me. The next thing that annoys me is if you get let's say you pick up a track piece and then you decide you don't want it, you can't like bin it, so then you're kind of stuck with it until you can like replace it by putting another piece of track on top of that. But sometimes it doesn't always work and it bugs out. Then you get like sort of two pieces of track stuck together, and it makes the train do weird things. I haven't experienced that bug for a while, but that happens sometimes. And if you like make a loop that's too small, the train can crash into itself, which is pretty fair. But then you have two options. You can either like spend the coins you have to save the train, or you can lose the train, and then basically all the progress you made is pretty much lost, and you're back to and then you have to work up again to get the next train, which I find irritating, but there is a way around that. So basically just close the application and then reopen it, and you get to keep the train. Like if you don't have enough coins to salvage it. So yeah, don't ever click lose train if you play this game, because you will lose it. And then but right, now let's go over positives. One, I could play this for hours. It is actually quite I don't know, it's just something about it, like it's quite atmospheric. No, not atmospheric. It's positive. Like when you complete a level, it says like nice words and it compliments you, and yeah, so that's a good thing, and it works offline, and like, and you the idea of it is to use all the squares, but if you can't figure out how to use all the squares, you don't fail it. Like you don't fail the level. It still moves on to the next level, which is another good thing in my opinion. So yeah, I literally play this for hours at break time. It's very very like. And it's not too easy, but it's not too hard either. And there is a mix of puzzles. I find sometimes they're like extremely easy, and then other times they're extremely hard. But most of the time they're in the middle, so it doesn't get too boring too quickly. And it's not too frustrating either, because if it is too hard, you can literally just do the shortest route to the station and then move on to the next level. So I mean, I like to try and fill in all the squares personally, but you don't have to do that. You can just technically whiz through this game if you wanted to cheat, or if you wanted to just skip all this. But yeah, I like to try and fill in all the squares, but you don't have to. It's just some. But the more squares you fill in, like you has like a point system, and the squares that aren't filled in like take points away, and then the squares that are filled in add points, which goes into your like overall score, which is mine is 3, 4, 6, 8 at the moment, and then I can't really see what my best score is, as in watching this in the editing is like it's like really tiny, so I can't really see what the numbers say. But overall, I like this game. I give it a 7 out of 10. And there are no ads. Well, I haven't come across. There probably are ads, but I haven't actually come across any. So I think I come across like one or two ads. But that's like after hours and hours of playing. So that's That's pretty good for a mobile game these days. Alright, so after this game, we'll be moving into vehicle games, because I tried to select 2 games for each category, but other I only have 1, because I don't know what other is classed as, so I mean the game it belongs in the other, I don't really know what that is, but most games I have 2 for each one. But yeah, Gold Train FR VR is worth playing, definitely, especially on like breaks and stuff, if you work or at college or whatever and are just waiting for something to do. Like, so we'll let the clip run to the end, and I made a mistake here. I thought the train would have went round, but as if you look, you can see that that loop isn't even connected to the main bit, so yeah. Oh well. But anyways, we'll let the clip run to the end, and then we'll then we'll run into the next then we'll move into vehicle games, like oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention, but once you've completed the puzzle, you can actually speed the train up. So if you just want to skip to go to the next level rather than watching the train go around the track and stuff, you can just speed up the train and it will just go faster into the and you can, if you wanted to, at the start you can start the train off as you're building the track if you wanted a harder challenge, but I don't really like doing that, as I've tried it a couple times and the train gets to the end of the track before I can actually get the right piece to continue going, because of that and stupid system where you have to keep scrolling through the menus. So yeah. Anyway, the next game we'll be playing is called Train Pro USA, which is basically a train simulator, which is actually quite detailed for a mobile game. I'm actually quite impressed with that one, to be fair. Right, Train Pro USA, as you can see, there's different tasks, and there is tons of other trains and carriages and all sorts of things you can do in this game, which is good thing in my that's a good thing. But there is a couple issues which we'll talk about first. Sometimes the graphics don't always render in until the render distance is really appalling, but I don't know if that's just my phone or if that's the way the game is. And when the train goes past so many miles per hour, the game can lag out sometimes, which but if you slow down, the lagginess kind of stops. So that's not too bad, and it works offline, which is a good thing. Things I do like about this game, though, there are the train, the game, it's fairly detailed for a mobile game. It's a 3D model. Inside the cab, the dials all move and the levers and everything that moves. So, they didn't have to animate any of that, but it's all animated inside. And I kind of like the mix of 3D and 2D models together. I don't know, that's just a me thing though, I think. But I do like how the 2D graphics blend in with the 3D graphics. It reminds me of when I used to play old PS2 games when I was younger. So this game kind of gives me nostalgic feelings for the way it looks, the graphic vibes anyway. But I didn't record a full of this. I didn't record a full length mission because this game, the missions are really long, going from point A to point B, which is kind of a like it's not a, if you want to play this game, it's not like a quick game. Like you sort of start a mission, and some of them can be like extremely long. So yeah, not very good for playing like in like college or something at break time. You'd be there all like you wouldn't even finish the mission by the time your lesson started. So more of a home kind of thing. But I do like the audio for this game. Like it doesn't sound like annoying, but it's not great, but it's not annoying either. So the audio is okay. Next game is an airplane like multiplayer game, like an online player versus player multiplayer game. Graphics are really shit, but it passes the time, and the games don't last too long, and like they find and it finds a game fairly quick, and there are a variety of different game modes and aeroplanes, and the progression system is you progress through the game fairly okay, like, and there wasn't too many ads from. I think there's a couple ads every now and again, but it's not like bombarded with adverts, which is a good thing. Like add anything that doesn't bombard you with ads is good in my opinion. But as you can see, what I mean by the graphics, like I don't know, it's just they don't look right. Like the planes are almost like plastic. Like there's no like texture. That's the problem. Like I think with the graphics, like there's no texture. I mean, there's some texture for like the ground for like the map, but the actual aircraft itself, that's just like lacking texture. The um, but the combat is actually pretty good in this game. Like, so that's not too bad. Um, the only really complaint I have is the graphics, but it's a free game, so I'm not complaining. Just something that would have been nice if it was a bit better, but definitely worth playing. I would give it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, 3 out of 10. Um, I will put screenshots of each game up in the corner as well, just in case I said their name wrong. I use an Android phone, so I don't know if all of these games will be on Apple, but it's still worth a look. I mean, if you're interested, obviously. So yeah, but they've got a variety of most of the jets or aircraft in this game seem to be from the Cold War era, or maybe a bit before. I don't know if there's any modern planes. But I haven't really gotten too far into the game as I haven't been really playing it that long. I think I found it like just at the start of like near the end of at the start of 24 like this year. So I've only been playing it on and off for a couple like weeks. So but most of the planes I could like find in the menus were like Cold War era aircraft, which is pretty cool. I suppose. So there's quite a lot of variety, but I don't think there's like any like modern fifth generation fighters. There could be, but I don't know. I haven't got that far. But from what I can tell, it's kind of like Cold War era, possibly. But and there's a variety of game modes too. Like this one, I forgot what they call it, but it's basically like domination, where you've got to like capture these points and kind of just like, yeah, the person with the most like points wins pretty much. So pretty simple game mode, but there are other game modes. There's team deathmatch and stuff as well. So there's more than two. I just don't remember what they call them, but pretty good game. Graphics are pretty bad. But the matches aren't too long, and it is kind of fun. And like when you die, you respawn. You have more than one life as well, so it's like that's so you don't have to like end the match and go into another game because you died, which is good. So, but it is a multiplayer thing, so online only, really. And we won this game. Well, yeah. So, graphics are bad. But apart from that, fairly decent game. Next game is called Critical Strike. This is a first-person shooter game that me and my partner play together sometimes. It's fairly simple. Like you can't really do much in terms of upgrading your guns. You just have you have just a variety of guns, and you can upgrade it with the money in-game currency you earn. So there's not much you can do on that, and you can't really and the guns shoot automatically, so you just run around and aim the gun, and then the gun will fire automatically. So it's fairly easy to pick up, and for some people that struggle with the sort of thing, I think that's quite beneficial to some people. But it would be nice if you could have an option to turn it to manual shooting, but unfortunately there isn't. It's just purely automatic shooting. But this game is pretty fun, and it is pretty detailed for graphics. As you can see, we're running around with an AK-47, and there are a variety of different snipers and rifles and pistols and knives, and there are several game modes, which is quite fun. And it's multiplayer. Well, it's only multiplayer, but you can play with your friends. Most of these multiplayer games you can, if they also play it. So yeah, that's another good thing. And the matches don't last too long either, but I do die a lot in this game, and some things I don't like about it is the upgrade system and things. So let's say it'll put you in games that it'll try and match you with players that are a similar level to you, but if you haven't got your equipment upgraded or anything, other players that have will definitely murder you more because they've got better equipment than you have, but it still pairs you with people like that anyway based on levels. That's one thing I don't really like because it's a bit of a mismatch in terms of balancing, I suppose. And some guns will just straight up instantly kill you, and others will take forever to kill. So there are some balancing issues in this game that could be done with work that needs working on. But apart from that, it's a pretty decent game and fairly well detailed. Also, they do random events and things. I got a couple guns for free just by it wasn't really an event, but they give stuff away for free sometimes, which is cool. That's nice. So I give this game a 7 out of 10. But the audio kind of is also a letdown. It's a bit annoying. It sounds like someone tapping on a tin can for the guns, and you can't really hear people walking around. But yeah, I like this game. 7 out of 10 all round. Right, next game. This game's called World War II Heroes, and it's really well thought out. You can customize how your character looks, you can add a different attachments. They even got different ammo types that do different things. They've got history, they've got actual, like, you can click on these question mark symbols on the weapons, and they'll give you actual history of when the gun was manufactured, how it was used. So it's like it's really well detailed for a mobile game. You can make different classes. They've got tons of different weapons, from pistols to RPGs to even shovels. You can murder people with shovels if you wanted to. And they've got some different game modes too, which is cool. The maps are pretty decent. The audio is pretty good too. Like, how it sounds is pretty good. But one thing you can also, they've got you can either select manual shooting like I have it, where you actually have a like button to press, or you can set it to automatic. You can set it to do different types of automatic shooting. But one thing that I would like for this game to have is to be able to customize like the interface, because see how like all your buttons are like cluttered together. Sometimes when you click the shoot button, like nothing actually happens, but that's because I have really fat fingers and like the UI is like really clammed together. So like I wish you could like customize that and like move the aim button down a bit or something like that. um in my personal, that's just a personal opinion, but this is like a really good game for a mobile. Um, there isn't too. I haven't actually come across that many ads either, and the leveling up system and progression is actually quite easy to understand. It's like really well thought out. But it is a bit harder to like play than the previous game that I just shown you. Like, the other game is easier, so if you've never played like a mobile game like this before, then I suggest playing the other game, Critical Strike, until you get used to that. Then like maybe try this game, because like that will give you a general idea. But yeah, this game isn't exactly easy to like. It's fairly easy to like pick up and understand, but like the actual other like the yeah, it's just slightly harder, but it's not too bad. And you also can like change it to however, like automatic shooting and stuff like that if you don't like the manual shooting, but I prefer manual shooting. um and also there are some maps where you can literally drive a tank, but I wasn't on one of those maps. But yeah, you can hop in vehicles and drive them around too, which is pretty fun. Um, Pretty well detailed for this game. Like, for it's pretty. The graphics are pretty good too. Like the 3D models are pretty well done. I haven't really come across any issues with it, just apart from the UI like being all cluttered together and sometimes not much happening. But and the upgrade system for your weapons was a little confusing to me at first, but I kind of figured it out in the end. It's pretty like a pretty simple upgrade system, really. And you can choose different classes. Like, you can actually make different classes. Like, you could actual like game on a computer, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is like probably the best mobile game I have found so far for this year. So I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. My favorite mobile game so far. And it's like, and you get a history like on the on like the weaponry and stuff. If you, when you're in like the menus, obviously upgrading stuff and whatever. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure there are flaws with it. And sorry about the phone call. I couldn't really help that. But yeah. But anyway, definitely try this game. And like I said, I'll put a screenshot of each game up on the menu. I'll put a screenshot of each game up in the corner of or something, just in case I said the names wrong. So yeah, I did try to record audio for the games as well, but for some reason my phone just would not record the audio. I don't know why. My phone does that sometimes when I record things on my phone, like with games and stuff. The audio doesn't always come through. Now, now we're moving into games that got suggested. I could only try one game that got suggested because the other game that got suggested was too big for me for my phone. I didn't have enough storage to download it, and the other game isn't compatible with my phone, so I could only try one that got suggested. But I will still mention them at the very end of the video because I think it's worth mentioning. So that, yeah, this is a pretty fun game. Moving on to games that got suggested by my friends, I asked Mystery Talks if he had a game to suggest for one of the videos, and he suggested Pokemon Go. Now I had issues with it. I did all the stuff like like it says, do you agree with our blah 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 blah, and then it asks you for your Google account, ECT. Well, anyway, I did all that, but I had to it kept kicking me out the first couple of times when I tried it. So then when I finally did got it to work, it worked pretty well, and I liked the art style of it, and I also liked the like how it got you actively walking and stuff. But I didn't really play it enough to have more like an actual opinion. So my opinion is I like that it got you actively walking, but it was a bit awkward to sort out to get working at first. So then I asked Luke, Mystery Talks for his opinion since he's been playing the game longer. So I will I will read what his opinion was. So hang on. Mystery Talks said it was a nice game. It's good for walking, but be careful where you go, which I agree with that statement because you could be distracted looking on your phone and walking to the main road or something. So if you do play this game, I suggest you be very careful of your surroundings and not just become a phone zombie. So yeah, it wasn't for me personally, and I did find it was a bit frustrating. As you can see, it took way too many attempts to catch this fish thing. And I suppose if you're a Pokemon nerd or Pokemon fan, I should say, then this will definitely be something you'll enjoy. But I was never really a fan of Pokemon anyway, even as a kid. So but it's not for me. But it was fairly thought out, and it worked. Once you can, I had issues trying to get into it, but once you sort of got it past the initial setups and stuff, then it should work no problem. I also had an error code about my about some sort of GPS thing at first. That took some doing to sort out too, but once it got working, then it was completely fine, as you can see. So, yeah, if you like Pokemon and you want to get out more, then this is definitely a method. Just be careful of your surroundings. Right. Now, I don't really have gameplay of the other games that got suggested because I couldn't. The other game that got the other two games, one isn't compatible with my phone, and the other one is too big for me to download, and I'm not willing to delete anything as I don't have anything I want to delete. So after this game clip ends, I will just cut to me talking like I did at the start of the video, and I will. Hello, it's me all again. We will talk about the games that I got suggested, but couldn't try it out for the video. But I've heard things about it from other people and stuff in the past as well, so I think they're worth trying, but I have no experience with it. But the first one that got suggested was Call of Duty Mobile. Now that one intrigued me because you can connect a controller like this to it and play it like a proper game, which sounds pretty cool to me. But however, it was a really big game, and I don't have the space on my phone to download it. So if you want to play that game, be prepared to delete a bunch of stuff for storage. And obviously with those sort of games, each time there's an update, then it's just going to be even more storage. So that's something you got to think about, is the storage space on your device and how much is it actually going to take up. Now the other game I got suggested was War Thunder Mobile, but that was not compatible with my phone. Because I don't have the requirement. It needs a lot of War Thunder Mobile needs a lot of requirements, but from my basic understanding, iPhone can fulfill those most iPhones can play that game without a struggle. So I'll put a screenshot of those games for the people that want to try them. I couldn't try them, that's why there is no game clip of them. And I'm not going to steal someone else's clip either to put in the video. So, yeah, I'll just put a screenshot of the game so you know what it looks like. And then that's all I can say is that War Thunder needs a bunch of requirements that I can't, that my phone, that is really hard to fulfill if you haven't got much money. But if you've got an iPhone, then it shouldn't be a problem. But for Android users, then that might be a problem. And Call of Duty Mobile just needs a ton of storage. So yeah, that's it from me. And I saw a quote in a church the other day when I was helping out, which I liked. So I'm going to end the video on that. It said, life is not about waiting for the storm. Life is learning how to dance in the rain. And I thought that was quite a nice quote, so we'll end it on that.